animals are concerned, they cannot survive, so they cannot live in heavy water. There is an interesting and a remarkable isotope fact here. There is the mold, there's the Aspergillus niger, and the Aspergillus niger, of course, had a name of niger, which means black. And if you have it, you can see this actually in ordinary water, it's black. But if you grow this mold in heavy water, then it will be alabaster white. So that means that this mold loses its ability to synthesize the black pigment and becomes alabaster white. So this is a very dramatic effect actually of heavy water on a system. There is also, it is a very famous thing which shows that if you put a tobacco plant in different deuterium water in different deuterium content, then you will see that depending on the deuterium content of the water, the growth of the plant will be diminished, and at 70% it will be much smaller the plant than in ordinary water. Now some conclusions which can be drawn from numerous experiments. First thing is, whereas simple organisms can be adapted to grow in heavy water, higher plants as well as animals resist full deuteration. Experiment carried out with mice and with other type of animals showed that the animals drinking 30% D2O and deuterated to about 25% in the body fluids live normal lifespan, but this is very important, their reproductive capacity becomes severely impaired, and there is also some other problems with these animals. And this means that also that was found actually in terms of these investigations, that deuterium content of 15-20% in the body fluid was found to be the threshold for toxicity in animals. Now, of course, there is a question right away: how toxic is heavy water to humans? Where are we allowed to drink heavy water, or this might be toxic to humans? Now, this can be, of course, can be done by some experiments carried out and see what happens when you drink heavy water. But there is also an estimation. You can estimation. Before we do that, I would like to show this. This is a very nice person, which shows the stable isotope composition, a person who weighs about 50 kilograms. And you can see the C13, C12, nitrogen 15, nitrogen 14. Then we can see also this hydrogen and deuterium. So this person contains 1.5 gram deuterium and about 5 kilogram hydrogen. So even in a normal case, a person contains some deuterium. Now, it can be assumed on the basis of animal experiments that the critical deuterium concentration, the double of which would cause severe problems with severe physiological effects in the human body, is about 10%. Now, if you take a 70 kilogram person, then it's very easy to estimate that it would mean that to reach this limit, you can drink 4.8 liter heavy water, 4.8 liter heavy water. Anyhow, that's just in parentheses. That would be a quite expensive experiment because heavy water is not so cheap. Or you can have 1.2 liter per day for 4 days without any serious consequences. So this might sound very strange, but that's about the situation. Now, that means that heavy water cannot be considered toxic to humans. And this is good news because heavy water is used in the clinical practice for example, determining the total body water on babies, on persons. So this is a very good news that the heavy water is not toxic to persons. Now, finally, I would say that it was actually demonstrated, I do hope. I mean, there are hundreds of examples, of course, and I just took the most striking examples, that there is an effect of increased deuterium concentration on various physiological processes, which has been extensively investigated in different biological systems. So I do hope that the persons are now convinced that the deuterium has definite effects on the biological systems. Now, of course, the topic of this conference, just the other side of the whole story, and that question which Gábor Somja was talking about in the first presentation, so that whether the effect of decreased or reduced deuterium concentration, the so-called deuterium depletion, has any effect on biological processes, that's actually the subject of this conference. So, I mean, we can continue with this during the day. Thank you for your attention. Any questions, comments?